County Court Administration. This is Gail. Can I help you?
Yes, I'm having to do my own investigation work for some unusual experiences I had. So can I give you my information? I had a charge that was a misdemeanor and it changed to a felony. Is that normal?
Okay. Do you know which case it's filed?
Can I ask, is that normal? If you have a misdemeanor, how would it change to a felony?
Okay, I don't know.
Have you ever heard of that, ma'am? In your position, may I have your name?
My name is Gail. I'm just trying to...
I called you, ma'am. I called you. I'd like to verbalize the question. Your name's Gail?
Yes.
Okay, so you...
I don't work for a specific court, so I'm trying to get you in the right place.
I called the court, but you don't work for I'm sorry. I called the court, but you don't work for a specific court?
I do administrative work for several courts. They have their own court administrators.
Okay, but you're what's your position again?
I'm the county court administrator at the statutory county court.
Okay, and you don't know how long you been working there?
I've been with Denton County for 15 years.
Okay, so have you? I don't understand why you won't let me speak, ma'am, as well as a multitude of other parties. I just want clarity, and I've called attorneys for years and a multitude of other people that seem to be covering for all of my experiences. Can I verbalize the question?
You're welcome to ask a question. I don't know if I'll be able to answer.
You haven't let me ask. You won't be able to handle until people get their charges. You won't. It hasn't happened years, ma'am. Can I verbalize the question?
Yeah, you're welcome to ask a question.
Okay. So have you ever heard of anyone that was charged with a misdemeanor and it just changed into a felony out of thin air?
Not necessarily out of thin air. I don't handle that. That's a
I know you haven't, but to your knowledge, for your position, have you ever heard of that?
I've seen cases where they have upped the charge to a felony from a misdemeanor, but I don't know the circumstances behind it.
Okay, so they up a charge from a misdemeanor to a felony?
I've seen where they've increased it, but I don't know the circumstances behind it. I don't know if they get additional information from law enforcement or whatever, because it's the DA's office that does that, not me.
Okay, so who do I need to get clarity on why a misdemeanor was upgraded to a felony with no reasoning?
You can contact the district attorney's office. I can give you their main number.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have a pen and paper handy?
Okay, one moment. Let me get that. The court?
I don't know which court you're needing.
Okay, so if I had court out of Denton County, is there multiple courts?
There are. We have several district courts. We also have misdemeanor courts. We have juvenile courts.
Well, I guess if it was a misdemeanor and it was upgraded to a felony, I would need to know the misdemeanor court and to see how it got upgraded to a felony. So I guess I would need their number.
What is your last name, and I can try to find out which court it's in?
It's Clark, C-L-A-R-K.
And your first name, please?
Kiana, K-E-Y-A-N-A.
So
hold on, let me make sure I understand. So you have 2004, but you don't have anything for 2002. Your information is limited, but you only have selected information from 2004, but you don't have anything.
I would like to explain this to you if you'll hold just
I just wanted to make sure I have clarity on what you just said, ma'am. Is my cause is difficult? I haven't verbalized the question completely. So you said that you don't have information from 2002.
That's not what I said. I'm trying to explain this to you.
Okay.
The offense date is December 12, 2003. I have very limited information because I do not work for the district court. And it looks like it was filed sometime in 2004. That's the only information I have, but I can give you the phone number for that court.
Okay, so what was the charge in 2004?
I'm sorry, I don't work for their court. That's the limited information I have.
Okay, so I want people to get their charges. So I have called a court. You have a case for 2004. You just said a few minutes ago that there was a misdemeanor, a felony charge, something. But you have now, it's limited and you have no information.
Right, I don't work for the felony courts. That's why I was going to give you the court.
Okay, so hold on, let me make sure I understand. I can't, ma'am, you're being really rude. Like a multitude of people I call that cover for crimes, ma'am. I want people to get their charges. So for 2004, ma'am, you're being rude. For 2004.
I'm not trying to be rude to you. I'm trying to give you the correct court number.
Okay, so 2004, you're 2004, ma'am. You said you saw something.
I don't have any other information. I was going to give you the court's information.
Okay, so you just see, let me make sure I understand. So you just see something with 2004 and it doesn't say what it is at a whole court. It hides. Well, then that's clear cut a crime being committed, ma'am. If they don't want you to know what's going on and it's hidden, then that's just a red flag that's a crime being committed.
I'm sorry. No, that's not the case.
Well, you look up information in your court and it won't tell you what's going on? What does it show you?
I don't work for their court.
Okay, so what information does it show you? It just says 2004, my name, and it has nothing else. Period.
I see a case number. I see it's a theft, and then one's a motion to revoke, but it looks like it's the same case.
Okay, well, you didn't say that just a few minutes ago, ma'am. Okay, so is that the theft? Is that what charge is that? Is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
It shows state jail felony.
Okay.
That's all I see. If you need detailed information,
you let me verbalize the question and get down to the bottom of it. You're taking control of the call to enforce crimes, ma'am. Which has been done years. So you show it's a theft, okay, and then it shows that it's a felony for a theft. Then it changed to a fraud. So they can't get their story straight. That's what I'm trying to get down to the bottom of, and your evidence of criminal activity, ma'am, by trying to take control of this call so you don't incriminate anyone, which I want people to pick up the felony charges they committed. They had no problem scheming to make sure that I have charges. They need to get investigated for theirs.
To revoke the probation. That's all I see. If you want the phone number for that court, I will.
Okay, go ahead, ma'am. What's the number? I know now why I got terrorized when I was in jail. I just didn't know what was going on with my life. What's the number, ma'am?
Okay, that court's phone number is 940-349-2330. And that's the 211th District Court. That's where your case looks like.
And what was the attorney that represented me? Do you have that information? Or you have everyone has very, very limited information. Ma'am, I can't talk, ma'am. These calls are psychologically abusive, all of them. And people need their charges. This is criminal. To repetitively experience each call when people don't want to be held accountable for their criminal activity. This is a court. You're very unprofessional. Let me speak with your supervisor. Let's see I'd like to speak with your supervisor.
My judge is unavailable and you can't speak to her directly, but you're welcome to.
Okay, what's the name? What's the name, ma'am? What's the name?
Her name is Judge Susan Peel.
Susan Peel. You're very unprofessional and your behavior is inappropriate. Susan, how do you spell the last name?
Piel.
And your name?
My name is Gail.
Gale?
That is correct.
And your last name?
Rubio. Rubio.
Is there any particular reason why you're mistreating me trying to get information on these charges?
I don't believe I've mistreated you.
You are, ma'am. Bye, ma'am. Bye.
11th District Court Administrator.
A voicemail. They don't return my calls. How is it a voicemail and I call the whole court?
Please do not leave a message. You may contact me by email upon my return on Tuesday, November 1st. If you need a copy of a filed document, you have reached Teresa to 11th District Court Administrator. I am out of the office.
She gave me two numbers for the same party.
At 8 a.m. Please do not leave a message. You may contact me by
See, I've called both the numbers.
Their number is 940.
Right there.
4922.
How am I getting the same person? Why are they trying to hide what would happen in Denton County?
Assistant with the 211 District Court, Denton County District Attorney's Office. Please listen carefully to the following options. For an employee, County records may help you.
Yes. Do any misdemeanor charges upgrade to felonies?
I guess I can. Yes.
Okay, how is that possible to get to have a misdemeanor charge and then it just changed to a felony? What are the circumstances behind how that could happen?
Any, I don't know. I can't. Depends on the circumstances.
Okay, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. If you're charged with a misdemeanor, how can it change to a felony? Under any circumstances.
Depends on the circumstances of the case.
Okay, can I give you my information to figure it out because it's a twilight zone? So, what's your position?
Are you the defendant?
What is your position? What is your position?
Are you the defendant?
You don't want me to know what your position is? Why would you deflect?
Are you the defendant?
Yes, I am, but I don't know why you would disregard me and not want me to know your position, ma'am.
Are you the person who committed the crime? We can't speak with you. We can speak with your defense attorney, but we can't speak with you.
I don't know why you would deflect and not want me to know your name.
We can speak with your defense attorney. That's all we
you
can
don't want. I'm not allowed to have your name.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Red flag. You got to see it to believe it. I am fully aware. That's why I record everything. That know one how and what is happening this Twilight Zone. When you find out, let me know. Apparently, I don't know if it's a stalker. What is happening here? My life has just been a Twilight Zone for a long time. In fact, I've been set up for a lot of different things. So friendships and it's just my life has been really unusual. But here's the thing, I just don't understand. Is it really so? I have no clue about my life. So I got my first apartment. Okay, so my first apartment complex that I lived in, there was a security guy that used to stalk me. So then the security guy stalked me and would terrorize me, would know when I had company and come over and terrorize me. So it happened repetitively. He used the avenue of saying that I didn't have a parking sticker. So he would repetitively do it, but the apartment complex would not give me a parking sticker. So that enforced that this person terrorized me, the security. So whenever I had company, I was younger, and whenever I have company, he would immediately know where the car, where it belonged to my apartment, like I was getting stopped. So I called the apartment complex and I said, this security is terrorizing me. They said, there's nothing that we can do. I said, well, you need to give me a parking pass. They said, we don't have one available. I said, if you won't stop this man from terrorizing me and you refuse to give me a parking pass, I need to, you need to let me out of my lease. Because this security guard is terrorizing me and you will not give me a parking pass to interrupt him terrorizing me for them not having the parking pass. So then after that happened, they came up with the parking pass. This may have went on like 5 months. It was creepy for him to come over and knew whenever I had company that the car belonged to my apartment. And he would say, is that you? Did that person, this so-and-so car is in this apartment, right? Because I moved out. When you move out of your parents' place, living with your parent, you experience your own privacy in your own place. So you don't get terrorized. But it was like I still live with my parents because the security guard was terrorizing me. Then I worked at this other job doing telemarketing, and there was a multitude of women that dressed really revealing. It was a call center, one of these little creepy call centers that I worked at for years. So a lot of women would, they go out at night, and then they dress prepared to go out at night. They did it all the time. It was all around the call center, how raunchy these women dressed. It was just, obvious that these women dressed raunchy and nothing was, really done. So anyway, after that went on, I finally was going out. Since everyone else was dressed raunchy, and it was no consequences, I finally was going out and, it was more convenient by the time that we had set up for me just to be prepared for it as soon as I got off work. Because it was like a nighttime call center. And we got off work I believe at 9. So anyway, I got off work and I went to work. My normal shift at about 5, they changed the whole procedure when I went to work dressed to go out. They had people with halter tops, all kinds of things. And I said, did they write this new procedure? There were people trying to take pictures with me, hugging on me, bending down like it was a club experience. And, and they were kind of interrupting me, because I was trying to figure out what all these commotion with the workers were. Because we repetitively kept seeing other women dressed like this, but the location targeted me and, changed the whole procedure. Now women could no longer dress like this. So I asked my supervisor, is all this commotion because of me? She said, absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. You look disgusting. It was a tennis skirt. And then, a tennis skirt and that's what was popular and raging at the time. And I had experienced a lot of unusual experiences in my life. I have no clue. I don't understand. I don't know if I met this guy that I went to a step show. I don't know what's happening with my life. But anyway, they changed the whole procedure, and it was because of me with that outfit on. I didn't really care because I didn't appreciate watching the women with their behinds showing out, their short dresses, halter tops. So even though they changed the whole procedure when I did it, it wasn't that really that much a problem for me because I appreciate not having to see people in their print of their behind. So I was appreciative that they did change the policy. Now that I could work comfortably without having to see someone else in their body parts. Because I didn't dress like that often. But it was just, it happened to be that particular time that I, set up to go do something, and I did dress according to the event that we had planned that later on that night. So, witnessing others do it and get away with it, they made a huge scene when I did it. So, like I said, I have no clue what's going on with my life. When you figure it out, let me know. I feel like I'm some kind of government project that I don't know about because I've had all these strange experiences a large majority of my life, and I don't know what's happening. Anyway, so let's try to figure out what's going on again with Denton.
Law offices, 10 Powers. This is Christy. How may I help you?
Yes, are you a legal aid? Or
I'm a legal assistant, yes.
Okay, you do criminal law?
We do.
Okay, have you ever heard of anyone charged with a misdemeanor and then it changed to a felony for the same crime?
Yes, ma'am, depending on the circumstances.
Oh, what are the circumstances that it would change?
It just depends. So your case would need to be reviewed. Are you a client of ours?
Okay, so I just wanted to make sure I understand. Let's say it's a theft.
Okay, depending on the circumstances on what was involved.
Okay, what would be the circumstances and how it would change?
If there were weapons involved, if there were people that were injured, if it was the amount of property, etc.
No, there was no one injured. And then at the time they had an amount of the theft and then it changed. So there was no injury. There's a lot of criminal activity. So I'm trying to get down to the bottom. I've been set up a great deal, and I'm just trying to get down to the bottom of what's the unusual events with my life. So it was a misdemeanor theft. And then after several months, it changed. And they don't want me to know what's going on with this case. So if it's a theft and they already charged me and booked me and placed me in jail, is it normal for it to change? And the value, how could it change if they already gave me the charge?
It just depends on like I said, the circumstances and the investigation. As the investigation goes on and there's more evidence that's
None of those things applied, ma'am. I'm trying to expose criminal activity. So you're an attorney. I may need legal representation to figure out I have multiple false arrests and I've been set up a lot in my life.
Okay.
I was very naive and allowed a lot of chaos. So can you represent me knowing those things that it was a misdemeanor and then it changed to a felony?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Your name, please?
Are you going to look at it? Don't you have access to look at it in your system?
Yeah, I'm going to get to that.
Okay.
Have you ever used us?
Actually, I've had multiple false arrests. That's what got me digging into my past. I've had like my false arrests are in the teens. But I'm giving you my information and you can see it for yourself. I'm targeted by the police department. It was Denton. Right. It changed from a theft then it changed to the forgery. So what happened is I was a cashier and I had never been a cashier. I had other kind of job tasks in my life. So I was a cashier and I allowed a friend to come through the line and write hot checks. The machine approved it. So they charged me with theft and then it changed to fraud. And I'm not quite sure how that happened. And that's why I wanted to get legal representation to fight that charge, because how did it go from a misdemeanor to a felony?
Sure.
They just sent it. I didn't appear at court. They didn't tell me there was any new evidence or anything. It just changed.
Okay, so let's see. Those are old. Okay, those jail records. Consultation.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Yeah?
You're a law office. So, do you see where it was a misdemeanor?
Let me pull this.
Because you just looked at the records and then you redirected the situation that you were looking for.
The forgery is going to be, I believe that's going to be the felony.
Okay, so there wasn't two charges. There was only one charge. How did they get two?
In December, by Louisville Police Department.
Right, the theft. Where I explained
this was in 2003. Is that what?
Yes, okay, so here's the thing. There was only one crime for the 2003 where I told you someone wrote the hot checks and came through my line, and then I was charged with the theft, even though their computer system approved it. Okay.
Okay, so I'm looking at a couple different systems, and on your criminal case records, there's.
Okay, so do you see a theft of a misdemeanor? Period.
No, And then on this one, then there was a motion to revoke probation for the theft in 2007.
Okay, so now it has disappeared, but here's the problem. I do have it on another channel. Someone put on their channel the rap sheet that it was a misdemeanor. So now the misdemeanor has disappeared, and now the only thing that is seen is a felony. But I do have someone did have access and documentation that this misdemeanor did occur. Now it has changed and completely evaporated, and now it's only the only thing that you can see is a felony.
Well, I see in 2008.
Ma'am, I'm talking about the misdemeanor charge.
Okay, and I understand.
That's what I want to concentrate on. I'd like to concentrate on why I called and why I'm hiring you.
Okay, so that was from Louisville Police Department in 2003, and it was a forgery, ran a stop sign, and a speeding. And
I'm not, ma'am. We're deflecting. And I don't know what the... The ran a stop sign was the ran a stop sign. That was weird. So the ran a stop sign was that... where was that located? It was like the police were setting me up. I remember that. Because I told my sister wanted me to run her to the store, the corner store, and I had my robe on. And hold on, let me tell you why I believe I'm getting set up and didn't realize it. So I had my robe on and I said, so a police was waiting at the stop sign and I did stop. But it was like the police lied. So he forced me to stand outside the car and chuckled and laughed when I had my robe on because I was just running my sister to the corner store. So the ran a stop sign that was that's very descriptive in this experience that I've had because that was really odd for the police to kind of lie and set me up and say I ran a stop sign, but I did stop. In addition to that, forced me to get out this car when I had a robe on, just temporarily, just running my sister to the store. Then chuckle and laugh. And that's the only thing that you see. But we're still not concentrating on the reason I called. So now the misdemeanor theft charge has disappeared. Like a multitude of other things. This is a law firm. This is why I called you, ma'am.
Yes,
Do you see the misdemeanor charge, period?
No, it's only the one. Let me put you on a brief hold.
Okay, ma'am. Brief hold. Brief hold.
Okay.
So another thing I experienced is that I bought carpet.
Okay. Yeah.
The brief hold. Okay. I thought you had me on hold. Hello? So another thing that I experienced that was I bought carpet to furnish this house. It was my house. So then I bought the carpet and then paid for it cash. Then they concocted some kind of scheme that I needed to pay $30 or $40 more. I had already paid in advance. So I tried to do the payment and they gave me problems doing the payment. So they put a lien on the house. I paid them in advance. This is the same strange things that I experienced in my life. So even though I paid them in advance, they put a lien. The carpet company. In addition to that, I had money coming in from taxes and something going on with my house. So I had con artists calling me trying to get those funds. So they said that it wasn't for that. And I said, well, I need something in writing. They said that we'll tell you about money that you have access to. And then I said, okay. But they wouldn't, they charge like a fee that would have been like more than half of the funds. So I said, well, I do know I have this tax refund on some charges with my house. They said it's not there. I said, well, I need to see it in writing. Come to find out that is what it was, and they were trying to take those funds. I have no clue, like I said, but a lot of people, banks have conned me out of money. Banks wouldn't close my account when this psycho person my family hooked me up with tried to put a check in my account. I tried to press charges on him. The bank closed my account to cover for this man. Why would my bank close the account when I'm trying to pick up charges for someone that put in a check against my account and caused things to bounce? So the bank closed my account. They were covering her for a conspiracy, which involved this person that my parents hooked me up with. Anyway, I don't know what's going on. My life is odd. Yes, ma'am?
This case isn't something that we would be able to assist you with.
Okay, well, is there a particular reason why you don't want to assist me?
It's not that that we don't want to assist you. The case has been
Okay, well, let me go back in. Is it normal, ma'am? Okay, you don't want to assist me. Is it normal for a misdemeanor to disappear and then change to a felony?
Like I said, depending on the circumstances.
You can't. Okay, so it's normal for a misdemeanor charge to just disappear. And you're an attorney.
I'm not an attorney.
Okay, well, if you would, well, you still have knowledge. Have you ever seen a misdemeanor disappear completely and then change into a felony?
Kiana?
Yes.
Hi, Kiana. My name is Alex. I'm one of the legal assistants.
I would like her to get back on the phone, ma'am. I'm trying to expose criminal activity by a multitude of conspirators.
Ma'am. Unfortunately, ma'am.
I don't know why you would cover for the crimes,
ma'am.
Ma'am, why would you cover for the crimes? Can you put her back on the phone, ma'am?
Ma'am, our office cannot assist you with this.
But I don't know why you cover for crimes. I'm asking her if she's ever seen a misdemeanor disappear, ma'am. People need their felony charge. They hung up.